LeAnn Rimes recently released her most personal album ever. LeAnn refers to Spitfire as an intimate conversation between her and whoever's listening. The album features several special guests, including Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20 and Jeff Beck, along with Alison, Krauss, and Tyminski. Borrowed was the lead single off the album, which covers material that was very difficult for her to write. Kelly Lynn caught up with LeAnn to talk about the new project, which hit stores last month.
Inside Music Row is sitting down with LeAnn Rimes. How are you?
I'm good.
So good to see you. So excited about this new album. Yes. Walmart exclusive.
Yep.
Spitfire. I have to ask you about that because that's a song on there, but you had a dream and came up with this in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I don't know what I was dreaming about, to be honest, but I did wake up and write down the word Spitfire, and I feel like I've had a bit of a piece of tape over my mouth for a few years, so it just seemed appropriate as the title because it's all of these things, once it was ripped off, just kind of rapid fire came out of me, all these different emotions. So I think it kind of fit everything I was saying on the record.
I love it. I love it. And it's so, you wrote, I read somewhere, how it was like this whole album is an expression of things that you've really felt. Would you say this is different from a lot of the other records you've made in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I co-written on another 13 songs on the album, and I've done a lot of co-writing before, but I don't think to this depth. I mean, I don't think I allowed myself to be this honest and go, this deep into certain things. And I guess I'm just kind of approaching music from a human perspective and not like just a singer. So I'm meeting fans at on a completely different level, I think, this time around. So yeah, it was a different experience, and it was amazing, to be able to put all of these things I've been feeling on this emotional roller coaster ride for the last 4 years into my music.
Talk a little bit about, because you were very young when you started in music, so your music has evolved. I mean, you're still very young, but you've lived a lot. So do you feel like a lot of what you've lived obviously has come into this record? There's a track called Borrow, and
yeah, no, there's everything that I've lived in the last 4 years is pretty much on this album. So, and I feel like because it's coming from such a human place, a real place, that I wrote a lot of other people's stories, and even if it's not specific to the situation, they can understand all of these emotions. So, yeah, it's to approach music this way is different for me, and I don't think I can approach it any other way from here on out. So, it's the performances are different. I really understand and have lived everything I'm singing about on this record.
Wow. And you also recorded at Capitol out in California. Talk about that.
Yeah.
It must have been an experience.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing experience to record the album. Everyone I wanted to work with on this record, I got to work with, that I asked for this album. It was pretty amazing to see all these great people come together and work on this record the way they did. I recorded kind of in the middle of all these musicians surrounding me, which is kind of odd to do. Usually you're pretty isolated when recording. So it was a whole different experience to be able to really kind of jam with them and like hang out with them. And I recorded some of the songs laying down. I recorded, it was just, any way I could get the lyric out and what I wanted to say and the emotion I wanted to convey, I was there. So it was super fun to do.
'Cause I loved you enough to let you go. I'll always regret it. I hope you know what I have done.
Talk about Daryl Brown. You guys wrote a lot of the songs together, and he's like a soulmate writer for you. Describe that, meeting someone that you can write and feel so comfortable with.
I mean, I've known him for probably almost 11 years, so we have a tremendous amount of trust there. That most people, you don't really find that in this business. So, to make a record that was so personal like this and to write from that, very honest place, it was nice to have that kind of trust in the room. He's an amazing man, really, really a great friend, and to be able to kind of connect with him on so many different levels, it was nice to make a record with a really, really good friend.
You're the best I'll ever have, 'cause I don't wanna give you back what you borrowed.
For the latest news and tour information, check out LeAnnRimesWorld.com. We still have lots more ahead on this week's show, so make sure you keep it right here for more Inside Music Row. We'll sit down with a true legend when we come back.